kicking his legs, as if he could pedal his way to the other side, where there is sand. Sand and water, deep water, as if he could swim to shore and survive. The sand and the era of the camel are back. The era of the difficult. Now you have to climb sand dunes of brick and mortar. The streets are not flat, but full of barricades, tunnels, and caves, and you have to walk through the maze, and sometimes you'll get lost inside, finding no end and no exit. And you'll fall into despair, but you'll see a dim beacon of light, appearing and disappearing. And when it fades away, your hope will fade. And you'll be amazed, because your pace will change. I used to be Dandy Rabbit, and now I am Tortuga China. Not that I have lost my way, only my pace, because of the dead body I carry on my back, on the hump of the camel, in the desert storm, with no oasis in sight, but the smiling light of the promised land. I saw the hand of man holding the hand of woman. They were running to escape the inferno, and just when the man thought he had saved the woman, a chunk of ceiling fell, and what he had in his hand was just her hand, dismembered from her body. Now we no longer have the Renaissance concept of the creation of man, those two hands reaching out to each other on the Sistine Chapel. The hand of God and the hand of man, their fingers almost touching, in unity of body and soul. What we have here is a war, the war of matter and spirit. In the classical era, spirit was in harmony with matter. Matter used to condense spirit. What was unseen, the ghost of Hamlet's father, was seen in the conscience of the king. The spirit was trapped in the matter of theater. The theater made the unseen seen. In the Romantic era, spirit overwhelms matter. The glass of champagne can't contain the bubbles, but never in the history of humanity has spirit been at war with matter. And that is what we have today. The war of banks and religion. It's what I wrote in Prayers of the Dawn, that in New York City, banks tower over cathedrals. Banks are the temples of America. This is a holy war. Our economy is our religion. When I came back to Midtown a week after the attack, I mourned, but not in a personal way. It was a cosmic mourning, something that I could not specify because I didn't know any of the dead. I felt grief without knowing its origin. Maybe it was the grief of being an immigrant and of not having roots, not being able to participate in the whole affair as a family member, but as a foreigner, as a stranger, estranged in myself and confused. I saw the windows of Bergdorf and Saks. What a theater of the unexpected! My mother would have cried. There were only black curtains, black drapes, showing the morning of the stores. No mannequins, just veils, black veils. When the mannequins appeared again weeks later, none of them had blonde hair. I don't know if it was because of the mourning rituals, or whether the mannequins were afraid to be blonde, targets of terrorists. Even they didn't want to look American. They were out of fashion after the Twin Towers fell, to the point that even though I had just dyed my hair blonde because I was writing Hamlet, and Hamlet is blonde, I went back to my coiffeur immediately and told him, dye my hair black. It was a matter of life and death. Why look like an American, when naturally I look like an Arab and walk like an Egyptian? I was living on 50th Street in Midtown and moved downtown 2 blocks south of the World Trade Center, 6 months before the attack, so that I could study up close from the shore of Battery Park the Statue of Liberty. I took ferries to the statue and bought books about the sculptor, Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, who, on a trip in 1871 to Liberty Island, at that time called Bedloe's Island, saw a stone fortress in the shape of an 11-pointed star, and realized, here on this 11-pointed star will be my statue. When I saw a cartoon of Bartholdi in a children's book, drawing sketches for his